Hello, everybody. So, get in here, girlfriends, and anyone else out there. So, my name is Doris. This is my very first podcast episode, and I wasn't quite sure how to do this. Pardon the noise in my background. It's just not the best place to do this, but anyway, I gotta do it. Um, so, uh, Today I wanted us to talk about boys, relationships, and sex. So I come from Africa. I come from Kenya, and whatever it is I say is based on my experience, my opinions, and perhaps also a few friends and family around me. And yeah, so you're free to do whatever you want to do with this information. If you feel it's helpful to you, it applies to you, well and good. Yeah, but I'm in no way trying to force you to think like me, but perhaps allowing you to see things through my eyes. And yeah, so so very first thing is growing up in Kenya with a typical Kenyan mom. Well, I can say that those things that I wish someone told me. I wish I had someone sit me down and tell me about this, and that before I got to this place where I am at today, but that did not happen. So somehow I tend to feel it should be an issue, or it is an issue in most homes where most parents shy off from tackling certain subject matters with their kids. And yeah, I don't think in my entire life I can recall any one time where I actually sat down with my mom and talked about boys or sex or something. Anytime it's something like that would come up, it would just be brushed off. Like, no, we are not even supposed to talk about that, you know? But facing the current world and things that are happening, um, it's worth noting that kids grow up really fast today. And personally, I had my first crush at age 11. That was like, not really that I knew what love was or anything, but I had a crush on this musical duo, P Square. And I was like, oh my god, they're so nice, they're so cute. Like, they were everything, you know? And that's probably what is happening in society right now. We start having those crushes, and I like so and so, and I don't like so and so, and perhaps that's the best time to start bringing up certain subject matters and how to approach it. So I tend to feel like for younger girls, I wish I got to understand more about my body and everything about it at an early age, other than just knowing what was, in biology, science, and stuff, like, you know, what you're taught in school. I wish I had that one person that could sit me down and tell me, this is how your body works, and this is what you should expect, and this is how to go about it. And when you feel this, and this, please let me know. And yeah, but then I don't know, my personal upbringing and stuff, that those things I did not feel as though I was free enough to talk about. To this date, I still question myself, like, um, when is the best time to tell my mom about my boyfriend and stuff? Because it's different societies. There are those homes where it's people are very free with their moms and dads, and they talk about anything. But then there are those who, okay, not just for me. I have friends who tell me, yo, I cannot sit down and tell my mom about my boyfriend. Maybe when I'm engaged or something like that, then I'll bring it up. So at the end of it all, you find yourself going through so much by yourself, yet there was someone out there who could help you. You had a mom who could tell you, no, this is not right, this is wrong, this is how you go about this and this, you know? But anyway, so I feel like I'm going into everything, like, but perhaps I'm just nervous because, yo, anyway, so um the first thing I'd like to really talk about would be uh relationships. So currently I have friends who I've seen going through a lot of things, and you know, also my personal experience. And I've grown up in a family of all girls, and most times I sit down and I tell myself, I am where I am today, but I wish 5 years ago, 10 years ago, if not my mom, I wish one of my sisters sat me down and told me A, B, C, and D about, relationships. Someone was able to walk me through. But anyway, it is what it is. I am where I'm at today. So, um, this is for those out there that never really had someone to tell them anything about their experience, to share anything about what it actually feels like. Um, one, I feel as though the biggest the biggest thing that you should hold on as a woman is your virginity. If you don't feel this is the right person, then don't do it. There's no a word for it. There's nothing to it. There are those who talk about it. I know there was that peer pressure about, yo, she's still a virgin, what. Everyone's talking about how exactly it feels, but I feel as though everyone has a different experience, and it's something that is precious. It's something that you should really hold, with, I don't know, high regard. I don't know how to put it, but I'm sure you get what I'm trying to say. So that's basically because you sort of tend to remember the very first experience. You remember your very first experience. You have some form of, how do I put it? For me personally, there was that form of attachment to this particular person. But then, so this is it pretty much. If you can hold it, then the better for you, because there are those who have experienced it, and like losing your virginity, and there's those who say once you lose it, you can't get it back, of course, and you can't stop. But then it's all about your mind and what you choose to do with your life. So the very first thing about relationships that also really caught my attention is the rate at which we are having young girls getting pregnant, and getting into relationships and not exactly knowing what you're doing. I've seen teenagers, and people are getting pregnant, people are settling and stuff. First off, you have no business settling at a very early age. You still have a lot to experience. You still have a lot to learn when it comes to relationships generally. So I have a best friend, and she always tells me, your 20s, your early 20s are your best boob and ass years. So don't waste them, and don't settle. So the thing is, most girls right now are moving in with guys, and you end up giving your all to this particular person. I personally had a relationship where I stayed with someone for the longest. I did everything. Literally, I was more like a wife to this person, and it was just, at the end of it all, it was never worth it, because this is someone who understands what they're doing. This is someone who knows I can manipulate this girl because she is naive to this extent. I can do this and that. And basically, I ended up with a narcissist. So everyone that was against my man, quote unquote, was an enemy for me. Everyone that was like, no, this is not right, he shouldn't be doing this, was actually an enemy. And I reached a point where I detached completely from my family and my friends, and I was all by myself, literally a lone ranger. And you see, now I'm at a point where I can't run to nobody. This guy starts shouting at me. This guy is cheating on me with, my schoolmates, my lecturers. It's just pathetic. I have women calling up and blowing up my phone, and I'm like, I don't know any of these people, and yet this guy is not apologetic. So anyway, I'll go into that in some later episode. But then I I just I came to understand that it was never worth it. There was never a hurry. And this is someone who took advantage of the fact that I was going through so much in my life that I had thought I may never be good enough for someone. I may never be perfect for anyone. Nobody would ever want someone like me because I had gone through depression. I was experiencing so much, and I just felt alone. And he took that opportunity to make me feel like he is the only one who cared. Anyway, so we'll talk about that later. About settling also, I've seen most girls who are like getting pregnant and stuff, and it's really pathetic because you're 19, you're 20, you're below 19, you're in your early 20s, you're still dependent on your parents for upkeep, for, accommodation and everything. But then you decide, I am going to be with this guy, I'm going to get pregnant for him, I'm going to do this and that. But no one really stops to focus and just think about how expensive it is to bring up a kid, because no one really ever talks about it. So you just think, okay, yeah, I'll have a kid and stuff, but then you fail to consider your parents, because at the end of it all, they're the ones who face that ripple effect. They're the ones who have to keep this kid at home while you still go to school, or you risk dropping out of school or missing out on very special stuff because you chose to have a baby early. And this is in no way condemning anyone who had a child, but they are also free to share their opinion, leave your comments and stuff. But then for those who are not yet there, stop and think. Ask yourself, is this what I really want? Am I able to actually fend for another human being? Because this is another human being you want to bring into this world. So, first of all, my policy is always, I'm not having no kid until I am financially stable years old. So, kids come with an expense. So, look at the cost of a diaper, perhaps, and just think about it for a minute. And you're like, okay, I need to change this particular diaper like a minimum of like 5 times a day or something. And it's gonna go on for roughly 3 years or so. So you have to think about that. You have to think about, where is this kid gonna stay? How is this kid gonna feed? How am I going to run my other stuff? And the moment you have a child, you can ask your parents, you can ask your siblings who have kids. The moment you have a child, the world stops being about you. Everything about you becomes about your child. So if you're someone who likes to go out and have fun and do this and that, it has to stop, because you have to be there to take care of this kid. And most times when you're having kids at a very early age, then where is this guy gonna go? Was he ready to settle? Because most times I've had friends who tell me, yo, I got pregnant for this guy and he just left me and he did this and that. But then, in as much as, yes, I will feel sorry for you to some extent, yes, I will feel like, okay, it's bad, whatever it is that he did is bad, I will still ask you, what did you think he was going to do? Because you are 20, you're dating a 20-year-old guy who's your schoolmate, he's also struggling, he's also living with his parents. He practically cannot do anything for that kid. So, he can't afford a diaper, he can't do anything. You knew all this, you knew he was still under the care of his parents, but you still lay in bed with him and decided, I want to get pregnant. So, if you choose to be sexually active, please kindly use protection. Always use